Hi, I'm Patty Blue Hayes, author, coach, and your guide to blossoming beyond heartbreak and cultivating hope as you sow the seeds of healing. During a time of healing in my life, I was struck by the poignancy of a quote by the poet Rumi, who lived in the 1200s. Isn't it amazing that his words still resonate in the hearts and souls of humankind 800 years after his death? When I first heard the quote, "The wound is the place where the light enters you," it took my breath away because I instantly knew the meaning, that my darkest suffering was the only way toward my healing and transformation. My soul somehow understood that the state of pain would not be permanent, that this open wound was a portal to another state of consciousness. When we're suffering, we can often feel like that will be our permanent condition. We believe that if the circumstances don't change, then we will not change either. But that is a false belief. We must do our best to adapt to the new circumstances. Loss comes in all forms: a job or loss of status, death, surviving a trauma, unrealized dreams, aging or illness. We experienced heartbreak in a variety of ways. I often described feeling as if I'd been broken open. Unable to endure, I felt cracked by the pressure and pain, as if it couldn't squeeze any more out of me unless it took my very last breath. But this concept of light entering our wounded soul also symbolizes the alchemy of pain and the divine. Haven't you found during your time of desperation that you've looked toward God, the universe, divine, whatever name you use to describe the energy beyond mankind? In many religious teachings, the light is seen as a living entity embodying love, healing, peace, and transformation. When people describe their near-death experiences, many of them talk about a luminous and loving light that their soul is drawn towards. Even our non-physical losses are a form of death. The former self dies, and we must grieve the person we will no longer be, where the vision we held for our future slips out of our grasp, and we have to let go and mourn the loss of what we'd hoped for. We can't go back in time and undo what has been done. If we are to survive, we must go forth into the flames, and like the phoenix, rise from the smoldering ashes to begin anew. If we can take a higher perspective and observe ourselves and our suffering from the point of view of the shimmering stars in the cosmos, we may feel small and insignificant, and yet we may also see the possibility for us to transform the elements of our suffering into something spiritually luminous and strong. In our pain and brokenness, we can't see the strength and wisdom forming in the flames, but those qualities will polish up to a brilliant resilience that will get us through future challenges we'll inevitably face in our lives. It's not easy having this human experience, is it? It can often feel like we're being tortured by our own existence. What if you start looking at it as the light in spiritual and philosophical traditions represents knowledge, awareness, or divine insight? In Rumi's quote, "The light entering through the wound" signifies a process of illumination and enlightenment, and illustrates the idea that profound wisdom can emerge from the very core of our open wound. It is a paradox indeed that our weakest times hold the greatest potential for our spiritual growth. Think of the tiny seed that in the right conditions becomes a majestic redwood tree. When presented with these growth opportunities, our first reaction is to run like hell to avoid the pain. What we don't realize is that running away or trying to avoid our pain only intensifies it. It is through acknowledging and confronting our wounds that we become wise and enlightened beings. The transformative journey involves embracing the very challenges that on the surface may seem to diminish us. It's from this alchemical process where inner strength is forged, our self-awareness deepens, and we understand that those wounds are truly portals to self-discovery and not scars for life. There's an expression that if you're going through hell, to keep going. Don't set up camp there. It will take your greatest courage to face the flames of your pain, but keep taking those courageous steps forward. toward the very core of the wound itself. It is only by going inward and opening ourselves up that we can blossom like petals of a flower, meeting the warmth of the sun. The integration of death and rebirth can lead to our sense of wholeness and authenticity, and allows the light we've absorbed in order to heal now become a beacon of light for others who are in the dark night of the soul. Remember, you're on a journey of healing and transformation. The seed does not become a blossom overnight.